Recording in
And we're back.
And we're back.
Yeshivas Geulas Shaul. We're in movement. We were a few minutes late. We're right outside HQ. We were a few minutes late because we were involved in epic ping pong battles. But the show, as they say, will go on. Yeshivas Geulas Shaul over here. This is the beautiful Baka. This is the entranceway to the secret HQ. We're on Daf Nun Beis Amud Beis. And Amir Hashem, because will give us that Maya. And we will get to the Mishnah today and start a new Mishnah tomorrow. Today, Shir, is the 13th wartime Shteig. Holden. Okay, so By Mine Reb Yossi ben Shaul mi Rebbe. So we're going to see a question that Reb Yossi ben Shaul, a pretty rare Amira. Reb Yossi ben Shaul, a pretty he's going to say over a question. Bomine, I'm just looking at the page. I'm using the light. Now I can see. Okay. Bomine Reb Yossi ben Shaul mi Rebbe. He asked Rabbi Huda Nasi a question. He said, "Kelim shenishtamshu bahen bebeis chonav, mahu sheyishtamshu bahen bebeis hamikdash." Oh, Shalom Aleichem Tati. Avi Mayri over here. Oh, this is sunny. This is Jerusalem Mayri. This is that picture?
Yeah, that's Beryl.
Wow, that's Beryl.
I think so. That's what I always thought.
That's amazing.
What about that guy?
Oh, you guys saw the Beryl?
Yeah. It's fire.
Nothing like having someone staring at you every day in your face.
Pretty geschmack. Shalom Aleichem. Sorry we're shtick late, but the yeshiva got a ping pong table today.
Next level. You know this house is a ping pong table conversion also.
Oh, sick, bro.
This house has a ping pong table built in.
Amazing. Fire. So we got two.
Well, you're on fire.
No, we're fire. Shteigin. All right, I got you guys Gemaras. Ready to rock face. So we have a question today from Rav Yossi Bar Shaul. He asks Rebbe the following question. Rav Yossi Bar Shaul asks Rebbe, he says, Kelim shenishtamshu beis chonav. So it was used, this vessel was used in the house of Chonav. What about, would we be able to use it in the Beis HaMikdash? So what is Beis Chonav? The word that I see in Chonav is chenvani. Now I know what a chenvani is? It's a money changer, I believe. But we have to see what exactly Rashi is saying. Beis Chonav. So you use this kelim in the house of Chonav. Mem Beis on Beis. Can we? Zarah. Yeah, money changer, bro. Can you use that in the Beis HaMikdash? V'kami baile aliba demanda amar Beis Chonav lav Beis Avodah Skuchavim. So the Gemara is saying, and of course we're asking according to the opinion that says that a Beis Chonav is not a Beis Avodah Zarah. See that no, nun base on base. Here, right here. Kelim, right? But I mean, you don't have the dot. So we have different Gemaras, and some Gemaras have a dot, some Gemaras don't. There's different gear sizes, but Harry's being the spoil. Harry's like, whoa, some have a dot, some don't. What are we going to darshan on the dot? Which is a good question. If you could say a shtickle Torah, oh, this one, right? Oh, this Rashi over here, he
trying to save some money for Kiddush for that Shabbos in the dot, man.
Right.
The bottle instead of the dot.
So yeah, something. So this Gemara again, we're all learning from new Gemaras. But we still have the Ozahadar, but it's a little bit of a different Mahadura, right? So anyway, but I showed you where we were, right? Kelim that we're using Beis Chonyo. So it says we're talking about the Mandamar. It says that because the question is only a question according to the Mandamar that says that Beis Chonyo is not a base of Avodah Zarah. If it is a base of Avodah Zarah, then obviously you can't use it for the base of Mikdash. Says the Gemara L'Chayra. So we're asking according to the guy in the Tnan in the Mishnah. Very good.
Mishnah.
Oh, very good. Yo, we got DVJ on the 1 second delay, giving the teretz right away. Oh, by the way, I gotta say something unbelievable that happened yesterday. So yesterday we're giving shir. Schlig's out.
So 1 second delay with the Shlig shir.
Yeah, right. So 1 second delay. We all remember that I said, "Oh, Dilma," and then this yid who was in shir like 1 day verse comes in with the or maybe, and then Schlig goes in with the one maybe or maybe on the 1 second delay. We were like, unbelievable. This guy picked up Odilma after one shir. I had a little talk with him after shir. The yid learned in Halb and had Rabbi Kramer, the redhead, in 6th grade as his Rebbe. So he got the Odilma 10 years later from a different one of Rabbi Kramer's Talmidim.
One of these like art school stories that they write in like books, like
Bro.
the thinness and the sweetness and the taste of the Torah.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that we had the same Rebbe, me 20 years ago, him 10 years ago. But we were both in the same 6th grade year. And and that's how we knew the Odilma right away. We're like, what's this yet? Getting Odilma on day 2?
Both like the cannon fodder that we're using to be like, we need to heal.
Oh, yeah.
First guy's in.
Yeah. Big source for Rabbi Kramer. Okay. So it says in a Mishnah, Kohanim sheshimshu beveis chonov. The Kohanim that were working in Beis Chonyo. Now, me and my dad are learning Hilchos Beis HaBechira in the Rambam. And so the fact that Beis Chonyo, we learned a lot of different like lishchas today. Lishchas HaMelech, Lishchas HaParva, Lishchas HaEitzim, right? Lishchas Pinchas HaMalbish, There's good lishchas, but Beis Chonyo, I don't know if we covered that. I don't know if we got there yet. So the kohen that was working in the house in Beis Chonyo, lo yishamshu b'mikdash shebi Yerushalayim. Very interesting caveat that the Gemara gives us here. Does anyone have a pen, by the way? By the way, you might notice that I'm flying solo tonight. The Rebbetzin is taking a well-deserved break, and we hope that she has kochos for Chassidus shir tomorrow. So the kohen that worked, you shouldn't do in the mikdash in Yerushalayim. Ve'eno tzarich lomar ledavar acher. And we don't have to say that if he was doing maybe something for Avodah Zarah, that's davar acher they call it. So possibly that's the davar acher that they're talking about. Eno tzarich lomar ledavar acher. Kohanim who de kanisinu. Rabbana Mishum de Bnei Deya, because Kohanim should know better. Elakalim lo, but vessels that were used in this Beis Chonyo. So we said the kohen. It's okay. We say the kohen that was mishamesh in Beis Chonyo. The kohen that was mishamesh in Beis Chonyo can't work in the Beis of Mikdash. And so the question is it just that we're being machmir for the kohen? All right, pencil is
Shmuel.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey. What's
How are
going
you?
on? Oh, it's J-Lo. Wow, what a fuss. We have J-Lo in the house. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
Hey. Oh, we're chilling. We're Shteigin. We're learning Torah. Because the ultimate perfection, the ultimate protection of Am Yisrael is of the nation of Israel is Torah. So you saw us. We were learning back in LA. Now we're learning in Israel. And your background right now is the Western Wall.
All right.
Gods, David DJ. Gods, you know, the baby's just not in sheer, so we had to have some girl. So we have J-Lo. Or maybe it's the same din with the Kohanim and the vessel. Maybe we're being machmer on the Kohanim. We say that the Kohanim can't work in the base and make this after they work in this Beis Chonyo, which we're still not 100% sure what it is. But maybe the Kalim is different. The kohen, like he knows better. But the vessel, what does the vessel know? Or maybe there's no difference. Odilma lo shna. Amarle isurim hein. There, it's isurim. We're dealing with isurim here. Umikra haya biadenu. And there was actually a pasuk that we knew the answer to this question. V'shachachnu, but we forgot it. I think we should take a look at Rashi now, because there's a very important part of the sugya that we're just still not 100% sure about. What is this Beis Chonyo? Beis Chonyo. So Rashi says Mefarish b'Shmaisen. It's explained in the Torah. B'Shmaisen basraisa de menachos. Wait a tick. B'Shmaisen. He's saying it's in Midos and in Yoma. It's explained. I think there's a Shmaisen. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong thing. B'Shmaisen is B'Shmaisa. There is a Girsa change. The Shmaisa. Bright Basraisa de Menachos. At the end, the last thing that we learn Menachos. Ponyav Benosho Shimon HaTzadik. Ponyav was actually the son of Shimon HaTzadik. Shebarach Mitzrayim. V'bnei Achiv v'bana Sham Mizbeach. So Shimon HaTzadik ran to Egypt because of his brother, and he built there a Mizbeach. Who plead husband, and they argue over there. Shalom Aleichem Zoom user. So there's a mandamar who says when Shimon HaTzadik went to Zigri Salman, Shalom Aleichem, thank you so much for joining us. The shir is lighter place now. Seeing your beautiful panim and wides and top chef panim. So there's a story, Zigri Zalman, that we just learned in Rashi, that when Shimon HaTzadik, his brother was like trying to kill him. Harry, did you know this story? Their brother was like chasing Shimon HaTzadik, and he ran to Egypt, and he built a mizbeach there. And this is machlaik as if he was doing it for Avodah Zarah or if he was doing it l'shem shamayim. A ma'aseh of Shimon HaTzadik like that, I had never heard. You know, like where's Rashi's makor? Sometimes Rashi brings stories with no makor. The second time you're seeing this in this Masechta. Do you guys remember the other story that we had no makor? That Rashi brings as no makor?
Daughter of Red Mare.
Oh, Bruria. Actually, the wife of Red Mare.
Daughter of the wife.
No,
It was the wife.
Wife of Red Mare, Bruria, and she said, yeah, amazing. That was back. I remember where we learned it in LA. We learned it at that place.
Like protesters standing outside art scroll stores asking for the report for these Rashis.
Bro, it's a huge thing that Rashi says a story that does not. We don't have any medrash or anything, bro. It's a big question. We're gonna go to France and protest Rashi.
I'm sure there's someone who wrote a sefer on these.
So someone, when I was gonna give class on this, we were in some like special place in LA that the guy that was one of the guys that was there was giving shir there, and he's like, oh, I just wrote an essay on this thing, and this Rashi has no makor. I'm like, can't be. And we look into it, and the Rashi by the Bruria that that Rabbi Meir, like she told Rabbi Meir, I'm never going to sin. So Rabbi Meir got a Talmud to seduce her, and then she did, and she was so embarrassed she ran away. Crazy stuff, no makor. Here also, but here Rashi says there is a makor. It's in a Bryce and Menachos. And the Magloga is over there. If he did it, if he built this bath, l'shem Shemaim or l'shem Avodah Zarah, the Gemara asks, vessels that were used there, are they permitted to be used in the Beis Hamikdash or not? So the Gemara says, of course, you're going to say according to the Yid, you're going to ask according to the Yid who says that it's not the house of Avodah Zarah, because it says in the Mishnah over there in Menachos. Menachos of Kuftes on Aleph. Kohanim sheshimshu bebeis chonav. So what if like a kohen goes down to Egypt? He's like, yo, I'm gonna go on vacation, and I'm gonna go do some avodah in the Beis Chonyo. Hashem what a tzaddik mean. So the kohen that worked there cannot work anymore for the Beis Hamikdash in Yerushalayim. That's why, by the way, that answers the question that we asked. Why does it have to say Yerushalayim, the Mikdash in Yerushalayim? Because we're talking about another Mizbech, competing Mikdash, something crazy that Shimon HaTzadik would do such thing. It's very, very mud and azaf. We may have to take a look in the Gemara and nothing.
Looks like a shaykh from the Sugi of breakaway chills.
Yo, yeah, what about breakaway chills in Egypt? I mean, in the Chorah, we can't build the Beis Hamikdash or any of the Kalim anywhere else. So what was going on with Shimon HaTzadik? We have to see that Gemara Menachos. But we're going to ask the Kohen. The guy says the Kohen can't work in the Beis Hamikdash Yerushalayim and lo tzarich lomar davar acher. Oh, so the Gemara says when the Gemara says v'kami baya like Rabbi Yossi ben Shaul should ask this aliba demand amar that's not a base of Avodah Zarah. The aliba demand amar Avodah Zarah lo kami baya like according to the guy who says that it was Avodah Zarah what he did over there in Egypt. We don't have to ask. If it was used for Avodah Zarah, then these kelim wouldn't even be allowed to be used by a regular guy. Kavach Chomer for the Beis Hamikdash. Like we said above, but so okay, fine. So we can't use it for right. The Gavon Mibayle, you're going to ask if you can use it for Hashem. It's usher to use for Hedget. Obviously, you can't use it for Kachin. So that's not what we're asking. We're asking according to the guy who says that it's not Avodah Zarah, but still a Kohen that works there is possible from working at the Beis Hamikdash. And Ein Zarah Lomer Davar Acher, Kohanim Shishim Shulvos Chav, right? Davar Acher for idolatry, like he said. If a Kohen uses for the Ein Zarah Lomer Shul Yishtam Shul the Mikdash, that's it. Possible for life, canceled for life. A Kohen who goes to Bohemian Grove and helps with the slaughter of babies or children or humans or women or men or anyone in human sacrifice can no longer ever come to work in the Beis Hamikdash. You know? How do we know this? Because then it says because you worship, you worked for them before their idols. And the pasuk afterward that says Lo yigashu eli lekahenli, don't bring him to be a kohen, says Hashem. From the fact the Gemara says that we don't even need to say the Kavachomer that you don't even need to bring another thing. Michla, we can infer the Beis Chonyo is lav davar acheru. From the fact that it says you can't do it in Beis if he works in Beis Chonyo, and obviously you can't do it if you did it from actual Avodah Zarah. What do we see? The Beis Chonyo is not Avodah Zarah, according to this Tana. Michla, we can infer the Beis Chonyo is lav davar acheru. And even so, Ketani, it says that the Kohanim are also that work there. The Kamibayle, the Rabbi Yossi, Kalim Mai. So Rabbi Yossi is asking, okay, what about the Kalim? We know that the Kohanim that work at Beis Chonyo cannot work there, even though it may not be considered Avodah Zarah, but still, even if they're doing it this middle stage between Avodah Zarah and not, a lot of people think it's black and white. The Beis Chonyo is kind of in the gray, right? It's not exactly Avodah Zarah, but it's not exactly not Avodah Zarah. The kohen is puzzled if he works there even once. So, but what about the kalim? That's what Rav Yossi is asking. What about the kalim that were used? Can they go take a kli that was used to sprinkle blood or sprinkle water or sprinkle wine, or can that be used? Or a knife that was used for shechita that can use in the Beis Hamikdash? Or is it just like the kohen that it's puzzle, or the kohen are being extra machmir against because the kohen has das? So the Gemara says, is it that kohanim are b'nei day and they knew? The Yadish and Ezra Bamos. The Kohanim know that the Bamos were Azar. Av l'shem gavoah, even if you're doing it in the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now, we can't bring Bamos, but you know who can bring Bamos? Kevin can bring a korban for us. Charlie can bring a korban for us. Scotty Stiff can bring a korban for us, as long as he's doing it for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Vesuvius can bring a korban for us. Josh Monday. Those are, I think, the 5 guys in yeshiva, and they can come and bring korban for us. They can bring korban. They can bring korban wherever they want. So they can bring a korban to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. We can't. We can only do it with the Beis Hamikdash. But that's another. Oh, Dr. Cheras can bring a korban for us. That's true. He would bring the best korban. Dr. Cheras was this guy that we knew. All right, and he's also a guy, and he's also a chess genius. Okay, so it says, or do we say that Kalim not, right? They didn't make the Kanas against Kalim, O Dilma no lo shna. Or maybe there's no difference, right? Amalei, so the answer is that no, they're Asurim. The Kalim are Asurim, and I could prove it to you. At one point we had a puzzle, but I forgot. Yo, that doesn't fly in Yeshivas Geulas Shaul. Why? If you forget a puzzle, so then okay, we gotta find the puzzle. Right? We can imagine if some guy comes to Yeshivas Geulas Shaul and says, I don't have a raya, but I think that Bill Gates is Mashiach, he had once said. Right? I don't have a raya. There's a little bit of wild stuff after that. But so we said, wait, you don't have a raya? Get out of here, right? You don't have a raya? What are you coming? He's like, oh, we had a raya, but we forgot. Kev, we just mentioned you. I just gave you a shout out because we're talking that there's a power that a non-Jew has that a Jew doesn't have, that you can bring a korban to Hashem anywhere you want, bro. We got to just build an altar.
What to the Hashem?
A sacrifice.
I was the sacrifice.
bro, we all were. But
yeah, exactly.
You can actually bring a sacrifice. And we might have to do that. And we might just go into the woods and do a sacrifice. It's been thousands of years since someone brought a sacrifice. But
is a sacrifice happening right now? Are we going through a sacrifice? Are we all being sacrificed somehow?
We are going through a sacrifice right now, and we just saw. Hey, Kevin's here.
Oh, real Kevin.
That's what I said. I just mentioned his name, and he comes this year. The real Kevin, yeah. So there has been a big sacrifice and a huge sacrifice that the nation of Israel hasn't made such a sacrifice since the Holocaust. But we're thinking we can maybe sacrifice like an animal. You could do it. The non-Jews amongst us can bring a sacrifice wherever they like. The Jew can only bring it in the temple in Yerushalayim. So we just mentioned you. I said Kevin can bring a korban, and then all of a sudden Kevin pops up.
What do you think? I should kill a cat or something, or what? I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. We've got lots of cats here. I'm on the farm. I guess you have to be here to catch the jokes.
Yeah, no, the cats. So I'm thinking maybe a goat or a bull or a ram. But before we make any moves, we got to really look at all of the, how do you do it and all this stuff. But I'm just putting the seeds of the idea out there that Yeshivas Geulas Shaul will bring a korban to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. One of our non-Jewish members in Yeshiva could do it, right?
Supposedly they say that that's part of the prerequisites to the Gulas, bringing the korban on the Temple Mount property even prior to the Beis Hamikdash being built.
Well, you don't need Beis Hamikdash to bring the korban. So Beis Hamikdash does not ma'akev the korban. I'm saying a different thing. We can bring a korban in that makom. I can check that I'm calling. I can just do it. We can do that.
You could do it at the makom.
In the makom.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm not so sure about going up there. You know, I like a paraduma first. But Kevin can go in to the Dead Sea. We can all go with Kevin to the Dead Sea and bring a korban. It's an idea. I'm just putting the idea out there.
Let's keep this. I would back a Kevin's sponsored korban.
Yeah, that would be
What do
pretty
you want to
sick.
do a sacrifice for? What's the idea of the sacrifice?
I mean, sacrifice for God, because it's a mitzvah. It's a commandment that we haven't been able to fulfill in 2,000 years, almost
Like a
293 years.
Statement.
Yeah, Harry says it's a statement with a barbecue at the end of the statement.
It's like a statement of like, this is the God of Israel. He's real. His words are real. His prophecy is real. We're going to now eat.
Yeah, we have barbecue. And by the way, I mean, I don't know if we're going to be able to eat the korban if Kevin chefs it. But
I've had bad experiences with sacrifices. I don't know, man. They haven't turned out well. They've always shifted the energy so terribly.
And we don't pressure people to pray, and we certainly don't pressure people to slaughter animals, even in the name of God. We're very.
I had these Christian. There were these Christian guys on the Mount of Olives doing these sacrifices on the. It was on the Jewish calendar there for something. I forget what it was. Anyways, wow, they would do those sacrifices. Every time they would do them, the energy shifted there so dramatically. It was so tangible. You could feel it. Everybody's energy dropped. Everybody was so miserable for a week or so after. It was really intense. Yeah, it was really something.
Well, who knows?
I don't know if he did. I don't know what he did. I wasn't with him at the sacrifice. It just happened on the property.
Who knows who they were sacrificing to, you know?
Exactly.
Who knows, like, if they're Christians, maybe they were actually Roman Catholics. Maybe they were actually sacrificing to Satan. We don't know. I mean, I can't imagine a sacrifice that we're not like absolutely the biggest like festival party. You know, we'll make it a big thing. But anyway, it's just an idea. It's just an idea. So it's saying like this. So maybe the kohen knows that he can't, but the kalim they don't know. So maybe the kalim that were used, the sword that was used at this random pop-up altar in Egypt, which doesn't really have a din, doesn't have a status of idolatry, but it's something problematic. What about the sword that you use to do the animal slaughter with that? And the Gemara asks the question, and the answer is that it's usher. And we had a pasuk, but we forgot. What does Rashi say? Mikra haya be'adenu. Behanach davoras golchavim dehechad mideoraisa hava behu tamel hadera kanasuhu rabbanan. So when it's talking about idolatry, somewhere where biblically there was a reason to make it permissible, like you can say, well, technically it's not idolatry, and the rabbis come and say it's forbidden, even if it's technically permissible. On a deoraisa level, the rabbis come and they say, no way, Jose. The Rabbanan avagav delav b'nei denu, and so the Rabbanan made a knas, a penalty on the vessels, on the sword, on the cup used for idolatry, even though they didn't even know, right? We made the penalty on the kohen that works there and on the vessels that he used. And we had a pasuk for this one. It was not idolatry. The low mitzvah midaraisa, and it's not azaraisa can do rabbanim bekalim to kohanim. They're other like the kalim to kohanim. So it seems to be that Rebbe answers Rabbi Yossi Bar Shaul, and Rebbe says usher. And we had a pasuk, but we forgot it. As I say, Rebbe, you know, we're not dealing with Yid and Ketanim over here. Eisvei, that's the Gemara Shaila. Kol HaGelim, asher he's niach HaMelech achaz b'malchuso. Oh, Schliggs is licking his chops. We're getting into Tanakh stories. Let's go. So all of the Kelim that the king of Achaz left over, he's niach, he threw him away in his kingship. B'ma'alo, hichinu v'hikdishu. This is a pasuk, Shleigs. Could you help us look it up?
Yeah.
Divrei hayamim, Beis Chavtes Yudtes. Yes, kol hakelim asher izniach hamelech Achaz, and all the vessels that Achav left behind in his kingship. B'ma'alo eichanu v'ikdishu v'hinam l'vnei mizbeach Hashem. So all of the vessels that the king of Achaz did something in his kingship when he went up, they made it. They used it for Beis Hamikdash. So wait a second. These vessels, which were used for something else that's maybe not entirely of idolatry, but used for something else, we have to see what exactly Yaakov was using them for. But they eventually allowed them to come be used in the Beis Hamikdash. Didn't you just tell me that you couldn't? So you got the bus?
Yeah. It's for killing.
Yeah.
And all the utensils that King Achaz had befouled.
Befouled, he's niach, befouled. Okay.
When he trespassed, we have made ready and sanctified. They are standing in front of the altar of the Lord.
So what did he do? Defiled, he said?
He befouled.
Befouled. Wow, even worse than defiled. To befoul something? So you're telling me that these kalim that were befouled by the king of Achad, when he went up and trespassed, maybe he used these kalim not supposed to, it was a little bit of a nadav and aviru situation, right? Sounds maybe something like that, but they were allowed to use it. The ava, right? So echanu v'ikdishenu, they prepared it and they made it. They sanctified it for the temple. My love, ichanu da'avat linu, hikdishanu de'iktishinu. Is it not talking that when it says hechanu that they were mevatel, whatever he used it for, and then hikdishanu they're makdish. Amar lei. So Rebbe is saying to Rav Yossi ben Shaul. We love Rav Yossi ben Shaul and Yeshivas Geulas Shaul over here. And Rebbe says to him, Baruch atah l'shamayim. You are blessed to heaven. Shechazarta li avedasi. Because you returned to me the thing that I have lost. Hey, right? Like this was the pasuk. Remember I told you that there was a pasuk that we had to say that it was usher? And I forgot the pasuk. Now you're asking me, well, what about this pasuk by Achaz, which seems to say that you're allowed to bring it back? Rebbe says, oh, that's the pasuk that says that it's forbidden. I forgot it. Blessed are you to heaven that you return to me the thing that I have lost. Baruch atah l'shamayim. Oh, I wish I had a pen, but it's okay. We're Rivka-less in Riverdale over here. And so, we're just a bunch of dudes who don't know where pens are. Well, that's the women's job. We're supposed to hunt. We're supposed to be out here Shteigin Torah. It's the girl's job to bring a pen. But, this is 13th wartime Shteig. And it's definitely acceptable for a girl who's not even mechuyeves in Talmud Torah to take a break. And instead of being like, oh man, wish I had a pen, which by the way, this may be too big though. Say, oh, wish I had a pen, we'll be like, no, we're so grateful that we had Rivka for the last 12. And here's to another 12 years, another 12 shirim, another 12 tribes, another 12 shiurim, and then on top of that, another 12 shiurim, and on top of that, ad infinitum, Mirz Hashem shall be here providing pens. We're penless in Pennsylvania, bro. It's okay. So, but he says, Baruch atah l'shamayim. Let's see what I can do with this yet. Let's see what I can do with this
There
here.
may be one. There may be a pen over here. It's not being used. I'll get it
Pen over where?
on the.
Oh, Sky. Yeah, this is what they call in yeshiva 3-page underliner. It doesn't just underline your page, but it underlines 3 pages behind it. Ah, Sky God's Rabbi. Sky God's. Okay, so Baruch Atah l'shamayim, that you returned my Avodah that I lost. He says no. Hechanu is sheganzum. When it says that they were making, they prepared it to be used for the Beis Hamikdash, the temple, they hit them. V'dishanu shekdishnanu acherem tarteim, that they were makdish other ones instead. She's like, this is the puzzle. See this puzzle that they hid them. It was used for something else. It was used for some other it's not exactly idolatry, but it wasn't proper. It was the same Shemayim, but it was usher. Forbidden. Those Kalim were forbidden. That's the puzzle. Lema Messiah lay. So, and say that you could help this psak that Rebbe said that it's actually usher. I'll say something, a Messiah lay. I'll help it out. There is a Memra, it seems, or no, a Mishnah in Midos Taka. Mizrachis Tzefonis Ba'ag Ginzu Beis Chashmonai as Avnei Mizbeach Sheshiktu Anshe Yavan. It says there was a special place in the northeast part of the Beis Hamikdash that the house of Chashmonai, at the time of Chanukah, hid the stones of the altar that the Greeks were mashakates, made buggy and disgusting and impure. Right? Yo, DVJ, where's Charlie? We're talking about bugs. We gotta get Charlie up in here.
Sherets, I gotta see what's up.
Yeah, Shekets this time. It's similar.
Shekets. Classic
Start-
DVJ.
No. It's totally understandable. One letter. And it's the same meaning. The Amar Rav Sheshes, and Rav Sheshes says, Shiktsum levoros golevim. What did they do when the Greeks came in? They went into the Beis Hamikdash and they started sacrificing animals to idolatry in the Beis Hamikdash. It's like, yo, this altar, we gotta hide these pieces. We can never use them again. Amar Rav Papa says, Hazam Kra Ashkach Vidara. She's like, over there, they found the bazuk and they darsh into the chsev because it says, oh, over there by the Chashbon. By the Chashmonaim, it says Uvau ba pritim v'chalua. Wow, that's what's saying about the Beis Hamikdash. That's what's happening with this whole Gaza thing. That these pritim came in and they're mechal. They desecrated they're talking about desecrating the temple. Here they desecrated our nation. Amri, they say, hey, China Ovid, what are we going to do? Nis Barinu, what do? Do we break the Mizbeach? By the way, Dad, we learned this, that there was a place in the Beis Hamikdash that had these defiled stones of the altar. We learned that in the Rambam. So it's cool that now we're seeing it in the Gemara. So they said, what are we going to do? Are we going to break it? But it says, Avanim Shlemos Amar Rahman. The Torah says it has to be complete stones for the Mizbeach. One gigantic stone. Ninas Rinu. Are we going to chip it away? Lo Sani V'Lam Barz Amar. The Torah says you can never put metal on it. Ve'amai. This. Why? Yeah, exactly. And why? Very good. Ve'amai. And why? In the Ksav Yad, it doesn't have the Ve'amai. But the Rashi says, Rashi may or may not have that Bamai. So this Berinu, Vilishaglinu Linavshayu. So, do we have a porty? I think I have a porty. Break it and use it for itself, Linavshayu, for its. There's only a few minutes left. Okay, but still. DVJ, what's the time?
5 minutes. Sorry, I'm a little bit
Perfect.
behind.
Okay, so have my. Did you open it and give it to me so I'm like ready if we can make it? Allah Meir Anenu, and the Iker is obviously finishing this Gemara. Milo Amar of Oshia, Bigshu Lignoz Kol Kazev Izav Sheva Olam. They wanted to hide all of the silver and gold in the world. Mishum Kasba V'Dava Yerushalayim, because of the silver and gold that was hidden from Yerushalayim. We asked about this. Yerushalayim have Yeruba the Alma. The gold in Jerusalem is the majority of the gold in the world. Ella Amar Abaye, rather Abaye says, let's see what that means. Bigshu Lingzos Dinara Hadraina Toraina. They wanted to hide this coin of Hadrian and Toraina Shiva, right? Mipnei Tiba Yerushalayim, because of the imprint of Jerusalem. Ad Shematzu Ba Krav Min Atayra Shehu Mutter, until they found the pasuk that says mutter to have this coin. Uvau Ba Pritzim V'Chalua, the Pritzim came in, the improprietous souls came in, and they desecrated the temple. Azam Lo Ishtamshu B'Hu L'Gavah. No, it's different over there. They weren't using. It wasn't that they were trying to serve Hashem. It was just in an usher way, like Shimon HaTzadik in Mitzrayim. Given the Ishtamish B'Hu L'Gavoa, Lav Orach Ara L'Ishtamushe B'Hu. Had Joda, it doesn't stem that it should be used for a hedget. Okay, now we got to see Rashi. We might not have time for a song today. It's okay. Elad Meir Anenu. So there's Kol HaKelim. So we're going back, right? The question that they asked, all of the Kalim that they're talking about in Achaz, Kohanim in the days of Shavimei Chesky, days of Chesky, I may give them low. Kol Kalim Shavei Zamikdash, there is Niach Achaz, that Achaz be fouled in his kingship. When he went to use it for idolatry, they prepared it and they used it. So doesn't it mean that Hechenu is that in Mavadal? Does the Gemara? Mitumas was coming from the Torah of Gavim. Vikdishum, that they were makdish them. Shekazu mashchum b'shemen hamishcha. They did it with the anointing oil. Amu is he gave them the oraisa lav mitzri. Since the oraisa is not azar, the hektish nenu, because it was hektish. The ein adam ozer davar she'ein shalo, because these vessels that were in the base of Mikdash. Oh, Achaz is going to go up there and use it for idolatry. Right? Who is this Achaz guy? These vessels belong to Gavoa, they belong to the Eibishter, and so he can't be ozer at something that's not his, right? So there is it's okay. So there is inu nami lo gazru alayu ho v'alav b'nei. So we see that he didn't make the gezerah on the kalim. So don't make the gezerah on the kalim. Was? Was? Oh, verse. So he says, "Thank you that you reminded me. You found what I lost. This is the puzzle that I forgot." No, they hid them and they were magdish other instead. But the kalim were there was a kinas, there was a penalty on them. So we say, we have another raya that the kalim are no good. Look at what happened with the Beis Chonyo after they used it after the Greeks used it, and so they hid them. Mizrachi Tzifonis, Shimush Arba Lishchos, Shayib the Miktzos, Hazar, different things that were in the Zarah. They talk about it in Mesechus Midos. and the Rambam talks about Bechira. Remember, she says, what does it mean that the Greeks were shakates them? Shaktu le base levaros gochavim. Abagav de lahedje lo mitzri. They wouldn't become asher the hedje. They ain't other ozer davar shein shalom because the person can't just asher them, asher the mizbeach. If it was a regular thing, it doesn't belong to him. Shalom. We still see that the rabbis made a gezer the gabe gavo when it comes to kachim. And that the kalim is other. The Avagav, the left the day, even though the kalim, what do they know what they're going to do? Who Beis Chonyo nami, and also in Beis Chonyo, Avagav the lav Beis Avodah Gochavim, even though it really wasn't idolatry. Below Mitzri kalim didemi deraisa, it wasn't deraisa. Gazru the Rabban and the rabbis made a gezerah. Says Rav Baba over there was a kra. They asked us in Zarah to me deraisa. It's usher even to a hedge. Because it says Uvo Pritam v'chalu. It says that these Pritam came in and they were mechal. Mikevan shenichnazu ovdei gochavim lehechal. Since they went in, yotzei kelim v'chulin. All of the kelim became chulin. Mikevan denavki lechulin kaninu behavkera v'havu lehu didu. And after they went to chulin, like. The kalim became profane, and so then it was hefker, right? It didn't belong to the Eibishter anymore. It didn't belong to, everything belongs to the Eibishter, but it didn't belong to Gavoa anymore. So the Yavanim took it because so when they use it for Avodah,